Startups often fail not because their ideas are bad or their teams lack talent, but because they are blindsided by pressures they never anticipated. The reality of entrepreneurship is that markets shift, competitors attack, systems break, and sometimes customers leave without warning. The companies that endure are not the ones that avoid every challenge. They're the ones that anticipate vulnerabilities before they turn fatal. That's the essence of stress testing your startup. Stress testing is not about pessimism or paranoia. It's about building unshakable foundations for sustainable growth. Just like banks stress test their systems against economic downturns, startups must test their own foundations to ensure resilience. By exposing blind spots early, you give yourself the time and resources to strengthen weak links before they snap under pressure. The first reason stress testing matters is because of hidden weaknesses. Most startups break under pressures they never saw coming. They may look strong on the surface, but beneath, fragile dependencies or unchecked risks create fault lines that only appear under stress. Stress testing brings those hidden vulnerabilities into the light. The second is early detection. A proactive vulnerability assessment allows you to catch problems when they are still manageable. A weak financial model, a single point of failure in infrastructure, or overdependence on one customer can be addressed if discovered early. Left unexamined, these issues become existential crises. The third is market resilience. Startups operate in dynamic environments. Economic downturns, sudden competition, or changes in customer behavior can derail progress. Stress testing builds adaptive capacity, helping you survive downturns and pivot when necessary. The fourth is investor confidence. Sophisticated investors don't just look for vision, they look for foresight. A founder who demonstrates strategic risk management sends a powerful signal. This is someone who won't be caught flat footed when challenges arise. Stress testing isn't pessimism, it's professionalism. It turns fragility into resilience and inspires confidence in your leadership. When stress testing, four critical areas deserve special focus. The first is financial foundations. You must examine runway duration, burn rate, unit economics, and revenue concentration risks. Are you too dependent on a single revenue stream? Could you survive a sudden drop in income? The second is team dependencies. Startups are often fragile because of key person risks. If one founder or engineer left, could the company still function? Identifying skill gaps, succession planning, and cross functional coverage is critical to resilience. The third is technical infrastructure. Systems must be scalable, secure, and reliable. What happens if traffic spikes tenfold overnight? Or if your servers go down for hours? Stress testing infrastructure ensures you don't fail when customers need you most. The fourth is market position. Even great products can falter if retention is weak, differentiation is unclear, or demand is volatile. Stress testing your market position forces you to evaluate whether customers will stick, whether competitors could outmaneuver you, and whether timing could undermine adoption. Each of these areas represents a potential fault line. Together, they form a foundation that determines whether your startup survives shocks or collapses under pressure. Financial health is the lifeblood of any startup, and stress testing it reveals whether you're prepared for the unexpected. The first tool is scenario modeling. Build cash flow projections under best case, base case, and worst case assumptions. If revenue slows, how long can you survive? If growth accelerates, can you fund the needed scale? Scenario modeling ensures you're prepared for both extremes. The second tool is revenue shock testing. Ask the uncomfortable question: what happens if revenue drops by 30% overnight? Can you still pay your team, cover operations, and maintain momentum? Companies that test this proactively often uncover overexposure to fragile revenue streams. The third is dependency analysis. Many startups unknowingly rely too heavily on a single customer, investor, or revenue stream. If that relationship fails, the company is doomed. Mapping these dependencies allows you to diversify before disaster strikes. Fourth is buffer building. Aim for 12 to 18 months of operational runway. This buffer not only helps you survive downturns, but also positions you to seize opportunities while weaker competitors stumble. Financial stress testing is not just about survival, it's about positioning your company to thrive when others are scrambling. Your technical and operational backbone must be tested just as rigorously as your financials. The first technique is load testing. Simulate traffic spikes at 10 times your normal volume. Identify breaking points before customers experience them. Many startups collapse not for lack of demand, but from inability to handle demand when it comes. The second is security audits. Conduct penetration testing, breach simulations, and vulnerability scans. Document your incident response procedures. Cybersecurity is no longer optional. Even early stage startups must protect customer trust and data. The third is redundancy planning. Test backup systems monthly, not just once. Ensure failover mechanisms work seamlessly when primary systems fail. Downtime kills trust, and trust once broken is nearly impossible to rebuild. Operations and technology resilience isn't just about uptime. It's about proving to customers that you are reliable even under extreme stress. Reliability becomes a competitive advantage when markets get chaotic. Stress testing extends beyond systems. It must also include people and positioning. Start with customer retention analysis. Survey at risk segments and ask why customers might leave. Build strategies to address those reasons proactively. Retention is the ultimate test of product market fit, and stress testing reveals cracks early. Next, run competitive war games. Role play scenarios where aggressive competitors launch price wars, copy features, or poach talent. Anticipating these moves makes you harder to disrupt. Then, examine key person risk. Map mission critical roles and ask what happens if this person leaves tomorrow. Succession planning and cross training ensure no single point of failure in your team. Strategic scenario planning builds adaptability and leadership agility. It ensures you're not just reactive, but prepared for whatever crisis arises. Real world examples highlight the importance of stress testing. Take Zoom. When the pandemic hit, traffic surged by 30 times almost overnight. Zoom didn't collapse because it had stress tested its infrastructure for extreme growth scenarios. The result was not just survival, but dominance in the video conferencing space. Contrast this with the countless single client disasters. Startups that depended on one major client often collapsed the moment that client churned. Diversification could have prevented these preventable catastrophes. Then consider resilient survivors. The strongest startups continuously run what if scenarios. They don't wait for crises to test their systems. They prepare in advance. As a result, they adapt quickly to both shocks and opportunities. The key insight here is that success comes from preparing for both explosive growth and severe shocks. Stress testing is not pessimism, it's strategic preparation. It turns uncertainty into a competitive edge. Stress testing your startup is about seeing weaknesses before they break you. It's about turning blind spots into insights and vulnerabilities into strengths. By stress testing financials, you learn whether you can survive downturns and seize opportunities. By stress testing operations and technology, you ensure reliability even under extreme demand. By stress testing market position and teams, you protect against churn, competition, and key person risks. The stories of Zoom, single client collapses, and resilient survivors remind us that resilience is not accidental, it is intentional. Startups that prepare for both best and worst case scenarios are the ones that thrive when uncertainty hits. The final takeaway is this: don't wait for stress to test your startup. Test it yourself. Run the scenarios, push the systems, and confront the uncomfortable questions. Doing so doesn't make you pessimistic, it makes you prepared. And in the unpredictable world of entrepreneurship, preparation is the greatest advantage you can build.